LoreWarrior Online. LNC25-02 Lancelot. Overview. Krupp's Stellar Technologies was a favourite of mech manufacturers working for the Terran Hegemony and Star League. Producers of excellent weapons and computer systems, they enjoyed a good level of profits until finally deciding to get into the game themselves. After acquiring Seda Manufacturing, they received a contract from the Star League Quartermaster Command in 2581 to produce a quick-strike medium mech with significant firepower that was not ammunition-dependent. While very limiting, these requirements narrowed the choices that Krupp needed to make, and they focused on the power plant and worked their way out. Field trials later that year were successful, and the Lancelot was pushed into full production. While the first run was a modest 250 units, the Star League extended the order afterwards, despite the high price tag. Krupp's facilities on Mars, however, were destroyed during the Amaris coup, as were many Lancelots in the heavy fighting during Kerensky's struggle to reclaim the Terran hegemony. The design had almost become extinct before Luthien Armour Works obtained copies of the blueprints after the Second Succession War. Though they managed to keep the mech in limited production, its capabilities were significantly reduced. The ravages of centuries of warfare have forced the Lancelot into a role for which it was never really designed, with equipment that cannot keep it alive for long against anything but the lightest battle mech. While it still packs a considerable punch, it no longer possesses the speed or heat dissipation capability to deliver its formidable firepower consistently and safely. Capabilities. The deadly Lord's Light PPC serves as its primary weapon system. Concentrated PPC fire opens huge rents in most armour, enabling the Lancelot's secondary systems to seriously damage the enemy chassis. The Lancelot's armour is thin, but adequate to protect the main gun. The twin arm-mounted Sunglow large lasers continue the job at closer ranges, and together they can ablate 60% more armour than the PPC. If a Lancelot's pilot is willing to risk shutdown from overheating, he can use all three to create a withering hail of fire. The biggest problem with the LNC25-02 is that it has lost its ancestor's speed, being limited to a mere 64 kph, and it lacks the armour to withstand more than a few solid hits. Because it has limited armour and average speed, modern pilots have taken to calling the Lancelot the Coffin. Deployment. Prior to the Exodus, Lancelots were fielded in almost all militaries in fast strike units. By the end of the Second Succession War, the loss of technology and production has led to their virtual extinction. Currently, less than a dozen functional or even salvageable Lancelots can be found throughout the entire Inner Sphere. Another couple of hundred of LAW's lower-tech O2 versions can be found, mainly in the Draconis Combine, where they serve as fire support units in a similar role to the Federated Sun's own heavier Jaeger mech. Variants. The original design moved 50% faster thanks to an advanced engine and mounted 6 less heatsinks, though these were double-capacity models. Some warriors would upgrade the large lasers or PPCs of extended range versions, but Krupp never made a production model so equipped. Prior to the Amaris Seas of Terror, Krupp had been field testing a prototype, the O1X, using more advanced technology. An advanced endosteel skeleton allowed the addition of jump jets, while ferrofibrous armour was added to increase the protection, and the large lasers were upgraded to ER models. Reports from pilots indicate that the jump jets added little, and more armour or heatsinks would be more preferable. Krupp, though, never had a chance to make these changes. Notable mech warriors. Captain Edward N. Smith. As a member of the Northwind Highlanders, Captain Smith has risen quickly in his 5 years since graduating from Northwind's Academy. As if being able, as a commander of Smith's Watch, a heavy company wasn't enough. He's one of the unit's hand-to-hand combat instructors. Smith had been piloting a Marauder, but with the Highlanders now working for the Federated Suns, the NAIS has lent some technical support to bring its family's Lancelot, one of the 2 surviving O1Xs, back into operational condition, in exchange for being able to study it. This aid paid off for both parties when his company engaged some raiders and damage to his weapons forced Smith to attempt a death-from-above attack against the enemy commander, not once, but twice. The irony is that the Combine leader was piloting a Highlander, another Star League relic known for the same attack, nicknamed the Highlander Burial.